Welcome, race fans, back to SVR for G1 and the round 2 at Watkins Glen. My name is Webbo, here to join you as usual for the race. Apologies for the slightly late start. The drivers did know that that was coming, so yeah, my apologies all the same. It's just a scheduling thing today, but hopefully we will be clear of that. But it's Watkins Glen, a classic GT racing racetrack here for the round. Nice to see Run DMC, Sir Grinch and Jailhouse Chris already in the chat. So I'm glad that you're all able to join us live. If you haven't spoken up yet, then please do. I haven't been able to get Hector on just yet either. I'll try. But this is the qualifying session anyway. It's DurtbagLarry who's the fastest by 4:44 ahead of Finn and Wask. So Finn obviously knowing his way around here after we raced here last season. I believe that Wask was in the season in time for Watkins Glen last year out in the rookies. But they're not changing tyres, I don't believe, at this stage. Here comes DurtbagLarry then, stretching to the line. This one's not going to be any quicker. VRX is 4th, Bijan 5th, Arya, the winner of round 1, only down in P6 on a 44.7. Tequila Monkey goes 8th there for a moment with the Azul Racing Lamborghinis. It looks like the Lambo are not exactly the pick of the crop when it comes to Watkins here, as they were in Interlagos. Giles Chris saying, one of your favourites, this track. I do enjoy it too. It is a battle of who is bravest through the famous bus stop we've just journeyed through on board with Finn. Finn just a shade, 0.08 of a second ahead of Wasco, who has got his excuses in early, saying he's operating on 3 hours of sleep. But I know the feeling, dude. But I couldn't drive as fast as you on that little sleep. So P3 at the moment, but it's Canadian second and third. DurtbagLarry, very popular driver among our neutral audience here, currently with the pole position. If you're here specifically for Larry, do give a shout out. I know we often get family and friends tuning in. Nicci Louder's in 7th. I haven't looked at his performance just yet, but out there we've also got Mo in P9. I believe Mo racing for the rookies last weekend. I think he is probably reserving today. We've got Nasty in 10th, Phil in 11th. Currently Apex not found in P12, and Soulshock at the rear right now on what I believe is one of his favourite tracks as well, 45.6 so far. But it's DurtbagLarry currently with the provisional pole. We're into the final minute of qualifying out here. Larry's so fast in every car, says Sir Grinch. Yeah, he's certainly, definitely no slouch at all. Yeah, lots of support for Larry for various reasons, but a great guy. Mo was racing in S2 last week. He's a busy guy, says Chris. Wow, okay, didn't. Oh, that must be what I'm confusing his appearance with. I thought he was in the rookies, but yeah, no, you're right, absolutely. For Rosa Racing, I think it was. Mo. DurtbagLarry, 43.976, the only driver in the 43s at the moment. This is him on board. I think this lap will count now as he goes through over the line there. Where is Finn? He's managed to work himself out a nice gap there on the racetrack, and I wonder if he's able to extract some more performance. It's a 4-sector racetrack, Watkins Glen. Generous with their sector divisions here. So coming through, this is the toe of the boot. If you sort of tilt your head to the right, it looks like a boot. And he fires out using every inch of the racetrack. But no, these tyres just have absolutely died on the drivers at this stage. Here is the Team Obsidian, Team Black racers. Sister team to Team Mega in S1. But yeah, DurtbagLarry out there. So as he runs through up and over the grass in the 77, I don't think this will be any quicker. The soft tyres definitely, dipping out of their grip. 1.2 seconds, in fact, slower than his absolute best. Here is the Zelen Motorsports team. Hector Motorsports car just spinning out there over the line. Don't really encourage that so close to the front of the final part of qualifying, because it can cause yellow flags and a distraction for drivers following. Nicci's put himself in P4 in the 296 here for Morado, the brightest colour scheme of the lot here for the drivers as he comes through into P4. That was 8.5 seconds slower, that one. Argento in the Peugeot RCZ, to VRX in P5, and we had to have a lot of fans for VRX before as well. The drivers coming through as Bijan in 6th. Good qualifying on row 2 and 3 for Morado. Are they allowed to change tyres in G1? I don't think so in qualifying, no. DurtbagLarry ahead of Finn on the front row. Wask in 3rd and Nicci Louder in 4th. I tell you what, that'd be a real shot in the arm for Finn to out-qualify his teammate out there. I think it was quite a depressing shakedown on round 1, so he's definitely put the work in here. VRX in 5th, Bijan in 6th, Aria in 7th, and Tequila Monkey making an all-Team Azul row 4. Mo and Nasty are on row 5 with Phil, and Apex not found in row 6. Soulshock bringing up the rear at the moment, but we'll look for that Tortoro liveried Oro racing car to move his way forward throughout the course of the race. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, not allowed. Hi to oh wow, sorry, Mladen Grabusic from from Croatia, cheering on his countryman VRX. That's great to see. So we will wait to see on the start time. So I'll just need to communicate to our host today. I think it's Dummy. Okay, apologies for this, folks. I'm gonna try and get Hector organised. So I'll leave you with some team content in just a second. Apologies for the slightly clunky way forward here, but I haven't been able to key this up just. Thanks for your patience, folks. My intention was that you had a little bit of background music during that, but maybe it didn't work because you were asking for it in the live chat. I can see. So apologies if that didn't work out for you. This is the way our championship looks after just the first round. Arya ahead of Mate and Wask, with DurtbagLarry and Nasty in 4th and 5th, followed by Tequila Monkey, Pat Finn, Red, Apex Not Found, and is that Bijan? I think it is, just off screen. Bijan, Nicci Louder, Uncle Pants, and Phil scoring those points so far in the championship. Just need to let Dummy know that I'm A-OK, which is good to go. And we'll be underway for you then in this next round of the G1 challenge here at SVR. I've had to shrink the map down because the Watkins Glen track map took up virtually the entire top right-hand third of the screen on Hector there for a minute, but we're all good. So I'm so glad to have everybody with us live. Remember to use the clip functionality. Make sure you're subscribing and over on my channel as well if you can. We are building something really special here at SVR, and it continues to get better and better. Great to have you with us as well. I can see Oscar and the Excalibur Princess. Fantastic name, Excalibur Princess there, cheering on Larry, and everybody wishing each other a good race. As DurtbagLarry and Finn will share the front row ahead of Finn's teammate Wask, who usually... there's a great rivalry between those two teammates. Go back and watch the Adrian Newey division last season to see that play out if you haven't already. And there's someone who isn't Hervas cheering on Apex, his countryman there, in his team. So. The driver's getting ready for the race. I'm going to have to put the race info on. I can't commentate without it, unfortunately, on my main screen. It's just too flipping difficult to do. But I will do my best to give you a good view of the action as well. I tell you what, we will choose... I wonder why Nicci is at the back of the grid on this round. I'm going to start Nicci's stream off here. It's dropped the clutch, and it's go, go, go for round 2 here at Watkins Glen as the drivers fire down towards turn 1. Should be fairly fast and furious as they come through here. It looks like the first of the moves coming. That's Arya with a great getaway and already moving ahead of Bijan. Tequila Monkey following him through there. The Azul Racing drivers getting their way through, and then Argento's Mo is managing to get ahead of Bijan, losing 3 places before turn 3 is Bijan, but he's fighting hard to keep this one up against our Morado driver and the Argento team. There's a Hector Motorsports purple Porsche in the background as well. And he's going to go for it down the inside. It's Nasty who spills and causes a bit of a collision there. I think Bijan survived that one, but that was very, very sketchy from Nasty on the inside. We'll have another check of that one. Perhaps we'll watch back from the Tortoro car behind, who's trying to make a move through here. Ended up with a big collision for that Team Oro car, unfortunately, and behind that group. But plenty to fight for, plenty to watch and enjoy so far, as I didn't even catch what was going on with Nicci's view of the action. Pat Finn down into 8th. Pat Finn down into 8th after 2nd place. What has happened to Finn out here? Did he get caught up in that melee? We don't quite see exactly what happened to Finn, but he's dropped right back down into that 8th position, sadly. That's huge. But 3 wide into the bus stop, says Chris. It's always fun. Well, I don't think the drivers at the front of this one are going to call that fun. Arya up from 8th to 5th. And Tequila Monkey following him through. We had a camera full of grass there with DurtbagLarry running through. He's dropped down as well. I'm tempted to suggest that DurtbagLarry and Finn came together, looking at Larry down in 4th, and Argento goes through. That's VRX up into 2nd place. Nicci pushed wide through the through turn 1 for the 2nd lap, and these drivers are not playing today. They are absolutely on it. And Wask is streaking off into the lead of this race Astonishing start from our drivers, absolutely crazy. Nasty's gone into the pits for a repair, I believe, early on here. Let's switch over to Soulshock's stream for you guys as well. But Wask leads this race ahead of VRX with monster starts on the medium tyres. DurtbagLarry in third place, getting back a position after losing out down to fourth earlier on. Nicci Louder, what a start for Nicci on hard tyres as well. Arya's in fifth on the racing hards. He managed to switch those on the Lamborghini absolutely amazingly there. Mo in sixth. Pat Finn down to seventh, regaining a place on Tequila Monkey. And then you've got Bijan behind Phil here for 9th and 10th positions. Apex not found in 11th. And Soulshock bringing up the rear right now in P12. But just Nasty, of course, having to pit due to picking up damage. I think he hit like an invisible barrier on the inside on the way in to the bus stop out there as the Zelen Motorsport team car of Wask here in P1 leads. Going through these first opening laps. There's plenty to play for. That's a massive tank slapper from Arya, who's going to be fighting like hell to hold on to the position as he comes through the next right-hander. And there's Pat Finn fishing for some of those positions back. How about that start for those Canadians? Absolute drama from everybody, as that looks like a weaker final corner from Arya, who drops down behind Mo, sweeps around the outside Mo into P1. Great overtake from him. Pat Finn hoping to get those positions back that he lost at the start, and I'm tempted to suggest came together with DurtbagLarry. But yeah, there you have it. Everybody absolutely gunning for this one. Everyone is up for it, and we absolutely are here for the drivers fighting like hell to hang on to these positions. There is Apex Not Found and Soulshock still fighting, as you can see on picture in picture, and they're side by side going into the bus stop. Soulshock on the outside, can't find his way through. Nasty's out there having repaired the Porsche, and he's out on the hard tyres. Wask leads by 1.4 seconds. You've got DurtbagLarry chasing down VRX, who's looking forward to it. And everybody is cheering on here. The quality of the race so far. You have to speak. You have to type in English if you want me to know what you're saying. By the way, our Croatian friends. But if you want to entertain each other, then go for it. Absolutely no problem. Good battle for P2, says Woody, as DurtbagLarry is right here with VRX. As I'll try and find you some close fighting drivers. I can see Pat Finn streaming right now, and he is 1/10 of a second away from Arya. We'll give you that picture in picture while we focus on what else is happening on the grid. Here is Wask ahead of VRX, and now DurtbagLarry chasing each other down. All the medium tyre runners here at the front of the grid, but Nicci in a great position. Nicci has got some great form and is really enjoying this 296. It's now Mo in P5. Here comes the Canadian pairing. One who went forward, one who went backward in the first few laps, and that was Phil and Tequila Monkey banging wheel arches through turn one. I think they'll enjoy that, the two of them together, but certainly there was more contact than we usually expect from these two. Here's the PSV sponsored Totoro car on the way through. Well, actually, it didn't end up looking like contact at all there. It looked like Tequila Monkey struggling for internet as the two Canadian rivals go side by side into the bus stop, and Pat Finn, the braver, and what a slide from Phil through the next corner as well. Astonishing sequence there as you watch Pat Finn take the move on the outside. Try and get you a better camera angle than this one. Here we go, Pat Finn round the outside of Arya, and then look at this from Phil in the Porsche. Four-wheel drift on the way through the bus stop. Beautiful control from him, and Pat Finn back into sixth position. And what is he? 8.7 seconds away from the lead of this race. In actuality, Apex Not Found following Soulshock here. Again, I'll give you that picture in picture because they're nice and close together. It's the Grinch, loving that from Pat. That was brave overtake. Pat probably driving a little bit angry at this stage, having lost the lead of the race. Sad to say we didn't see what was happening earlier on, but there goes another Azul racing car. It is Arya struggling to hold off Phil here, who's absolutely on the ascendancy around this Watkins Glen circuit. Phil looking incredible out there in the black and gold, and very threatening with those Tortoro teeth on the front splitter section of the Porsche. This is a real shot in the arm. We love to see our GT races really go for it, and they can lean on each other a little bit more perhaps than the open wheelers can. Single seaters, I suppose we should probably group them together. Solshock's in 11th, Apex not found in 12th, Nasty at the tail of the field, but he has made a pit stop. No one else has made a pit stop just yet. Wask is 2.1 seconds in the lead of Larry, who lost his lead and front row start very early on, possibly coming together with Pat Finn. VRX in third. So Larry has overcome VRX at this stage in the beautiful Argento Peugeot RCZ ahead of reserve driver Mo, and he is trying to hold off Nicci, and then Pat Finn has caught Nicci at an amazing rate of knots, but Nicci is on the hard tyres with the drivers around him all on the mediums. Finn doesn't necessarily know that that's the situation, but he's definitely going to try and make use of these medium tyres while he can. It is Nicci Louder in that P5, caught in defence rather than attack at this stage. Round the heel of the boot and in towards the back of the knee we go in this third of 4 sectors on lap 5 of the total 53 here at the G1 top tier race. Pat Finn chasing him down, very keen to get back, very keen, I'm sure, to get to show his pace relative to his teammate at Zelen Racing. Of course, he did that in qualifying to great effect, qualifying in P2. But for now, at least, Pat Finn down in 6th place. My former teammate, Pat Finn. That's why I probably talk about him too much. Great racer and very passionate. Committed driver. Down the inside we go, around that tight turn after that is, I'm trying to remember the name of the circuit. It's turn 1. Come on, into as he goes through. Brilliant sequence from Pat Finn. Again, really good overtake. He's making a habit of this around the circuit and getting by Nicci, who is on the harder tyres. Don't forget, just like Nasty, but Nicci there on merit and ahead of the drivers, just having a calmer start to the race perhaps than the medium runners did, who have fallen back behind him. VRX in P3, very popular driver here today, and then we've got DurtbagLarry in P2. I think the lag is just one car rather than my screen. I hope anyway. I'm doing my best for you in terms of the fidelity of everything. So I'm trying to get you the best view of the action. And I think that is just one car that is causing that. Looks like Larry just shaking around on the circuit a little bit. Wask leads by 1.6 seconds. Larry not letting Wask get away with this one at all. And this is going to be fascinating because Wask has worked his way forward, but in qualifying, both his teammate and DurtbagLarry were quicker on single lap pace. Can that translate? We still have, of course, just over 4/5 of the racetrack to go, of the race distance to go. As me famously trying to do maths mid-race as usual, and I don't learn from the fact that I simply can't do it. Pat Finn continuing then to chase down now the Argento of the reserve driver Mo around going through turn 1 where he made a pass earlier on, but he'll be in a strong position towards the bus stop here because he'll get the great slipstream. Mo's car dodging, ducking, diving and dodging around, and probably dipping as well as we go round. He's going to have to leave a good bit of safety margin there. Pat Finn not far enough forward to claim the outside line on the run through the corner, but he's clearly got pace right now. Tequila Monkey's got by his teammate Arya. Both starting on the hard tyres. Looks like Arya slip sliding his way through the bus stop as well. And Bijan in the beautiful Murado 296 comes through as well. He's on the hard tyres. So just like Nicci, so Azul and Murado have gone for the hard tyre strategy. Apex Not Found has chosen that as well with a broken rear of the car, which is going to be hurting his top speed. And Nasty with the slide through the bust up. The Porsches really love that sliding run. Both of the Porsche GT3s love it, as Nasty in on those hard tyres as well. Solshock in 12th, and Phil has taken a pit stop and come off his starting tyres. Now, Phil with a damaged toothy grin for Totoro team there. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure what happened to Phil, but clearly had to pit ahead of schedule. I don't think anyone would be planning to pit on lap 7 of the 33, even if you started maybe even on the soft tyres, as we run through turn 1 with the leader Wask. 1.5 seconds his gap to DurtbagLarry. Let's join Larry, shall we, on board the BMW with the split in the windscreen. Intentional split in the windscreen. It's going to be slightly annoying, but I imagine we don't. In VR, you're not spending a lot of time staring straight forward through the windscreen there. But here he is, P2. As you can still see, picture in picture, Pat Finn chasing down Mo there as we continue. We can see VRX still in P3 with the purple flashes on the car. There goes Pat Finn round the outside again, and he's making a habit of it. It didn't quite work this time, just overspeed through the corner and managing to land. Oh, and it's a spin, and it's into the barrier, and that's damage for Pat, unfortunately. Finn into the wall then on the way through, and you can see he turns in, and then unfortunately just doesn't get the next left-hand traction out of the corner. Goes to then light it up on the way through, but with overheated tyres into the barrier, and that crunch and those red lights signifying, unfortunately, damage to his Zelen McLaren. It has been, and an extra 1 second penalty for Finn. This race going from bad to worse, unfortunately, at this stage. Losing a pile of time, and that is really going to hurt at this point there. So the rest of the gaps have actually opened out really quite well here. Let's give you some Brockle C's stream. That is actually Apex Not Found. I haven't talked to him about that particular username. That's an interesting one. The Porsches, the golden Totoro Porsches at the back of the grid at the moment together, having pitted. I think the Solshock pitted. I think he has, onto the medium tyres now. Wask 1.3 seconds ahead of Larry coming through the start of the lap, and then into the high-speed S section. Full throttle in GT3 cars through here. Joe Chris asking if you're getting a repeating sound coming through. That would be awful if that's the case. I do apologise, but not much I think I can do to control that. So yeah, do ask, do confirm. Thank you, Yank. Well, that's a relief in one sense that it's not on my end anyway, if Yank's not experiencing it. So appreciate that, man. It's VRX then in P3, Mo in P4. A fantastic position at the moment for Argento. Nicci Louder, remember the furthest forward car on the hard tyres intentionally from the start of the race. Full throttle right now in the 296. Glorious sounding car, and really starting to lean on those track limits on the right and the left hand side of the track, going on that short shoot down towards the toe of the boot. Nicci looking very lively out there, and on the exit of the toe he kicks up some dirt. Tequila Monkey, poor qualifying by his high standards, I think, but he's absolutely on it here, having bested Arya and Bijan from the start of this Azul Racing. Now, it is Azul, that does mean blue. It is the former team in the 2024 VR Sim Racing World Championship that ran to Tequila Monkey through to victory in the end. And this is a navy blue colour. They absolutely promised me, and in certain lights you can tell. But in most daylight running, it looks black. And then you've got a purpley green colour shift on the car. So it is supposed to be the blue team, essentially Team Azul. But it doesn't always look that way in all light conditions at this stage. Anyway, Tequila Monkey P6, Bijan out there in the second Murado in P7. And we've got Arya in P8. Kim, speaking of, hi to Kim as well. Kim, who is Kim of Kimmy's Nursery, who are one of our title sponsors last year. I don't mind name dropping Kimmy's Nursery from last season. Arya in P8, and then we've got Apex Not Found in P9. currently in the BMW. Pat Finn in 10th place. We've got Nasty out in 11th, Soulshock running 12th, and Phil running that Porsche, having changed tyres and had to, I imagine, fix some damage. He was very racy earlier on, Phil, but sadly the race has not run particularly smoothly. Approaching 1/3 distance already. I would imagine the medium tyres starting to give up here. You can see Wask losing time to DurtbagLarry, whose front left is the most limited tyre. I think most drivers will find that to be the case, but it's actually getting into the danger territory there on the tyres. They can run a one-stop if they so desire here. Change of compound is the only requirement. No actual tyre compound is required physically itself. I can't give you DurtbagLarry's POV to enjoy, unfortunately, because he hasn't switched his Twitch stream on. So we'll have to have words about that one. That's not exactly what we want, Larry. But maybe it's about internet and protecting the connection. His car does look a little shaky on the racetrack, so it could be that he's protecting his performance essentially, as we'll ride on board the race leader Wask and see where that BMW starts to close in versus the BMW versus the McLaren. Excuse me. Let's give me nominate for me who you most want to see the stream of. I can see Pat Finn is about a second away from Apex Not Found. But if you want to shout up and hear and see a particular picture-in-picture, then do let me know. I'll happily go with the first suggestion that gets typed in. You'll see the purple network symbol means that they are streaming next to their name on the shot. It's lap 11 of the 33 as we see a very overcast day in upstate New York here for Watkins Glen. Round 2 of our VR Sim Racing World Championship for the G1 top tier GT3 drivers, and it is fairly equal between the two of them as we decide to go and watch them carefully right now. So we'll come through then and see Wask on 3 hours sleep and a dream out there, and just opening the gap slightly. So you can see that Pat Finn is catching Apex out there. You get a nice close-up of the Zelen Motorsports team. We have had a mini commercial break for you where we saw the team livery scenes. So that's awesome. It's great to have so many of you here with us today live. Always fun to have you join us. I'll give you a bit of Pat Finn to watch there on the stream because he can then set off in pursuit. In fact, I think he's just overtaken, and I think Tequila Monkey has pitted, the first driver into the pits then. Let's go over to P9, and we just out of time to catch Pat Finn, but the confirmation that Pat Finn has got by Apex Not Found there, just as we joined him on his stream as well. But Apex Not Found, P9, teammate Larry in P2. It's the Obsidian team versus the Zelen team at the moment, in 2 positions on the racetrack. Over to the front fight here between Larry and Wask, lap 12 of the 33. Looks like Tequila dividing the race into 1/3 and 2/3 split, which is about classic for a medium to hard tyre run. I'll try and catch up with his tyre choice in a moment. Probably you'll be first ahead of me to see what tyres he has taken. You can see that Mo is up 5 places from his start position, and Apex Not Found up 3, and the new tyres on for Tequila Monkey. I'm just waiting for confirmation of what compound he has chosen. I'll go and have a look at that in a moment, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him switch onto the hard tyre as we watch DurtbagLarry continue to follow Wask, and he's not looking too aggressive at this point. We will see if that turns into anything later. VRX, some good lap times out there. One poor lap time, a 50.6 on lap 10, probably explaining why he's dropped a couple seconds to the lead pair, but he's clearing away in front of his teammate Mo. reserving here in P4 for Argento. We have our Nicci Louder still on those hard tyres. He'll be able to run pretty deep into the race, I would imagine, here as we run on through this fabulous race. It's Nicci Louder in P5, Arya in 6th, Bijan chasing down Arya actually, which is great to see. Let's give you some Bijan, shall we? Chupacabra is his Twitch stream. If you do want to follow our drivers, you can access their Twitch streams from our website, svr-racing.com, from our grid, and you can see what the driver's record is like. You can see Pat Finn sliding through the bus stop again as well, still with wearing that damage. I'm surprised to see Finn not come in at the 1/3 distance point on lap 11, given that he's got the damage on the car at the moment, but maybe he feels like he can just stretch a couple more laps out of these medium tyres. Apex not found in 9th, Nasty in 10th. He made a stop. He will still have to stop again, I feel fairly certain. And Tequila Monkey went onto a second set of medium tyres, so he absolutely will need to pit again. How many laps to the end of the race? It is 20 plus the end of the one that they are on right now. My apologies. Hector does not give you that information. He does give you that information. It's right there on the screen. We've got pit stop from the leader Wask, and I think out there from DurtbagLarry in P4. So they both pit at the same time. Will this be a switch to the hard tyre, or will they be committed to a 2-stop? Because you do have to change tyre compound. But the medium is the best race tyre over a long distance. So yeah, 20 laps to go. There's the McLaren getting out of its pit lane speed limiter. Be really careful on that exit, and Wask is being very, very careful, and we'll wait to see where DurtbagLarry comes out. Well, DurtbagLarry has lost 2.5 seconds pretty much to Wask in the pit lane. They've both gone for a second set of medium tyres as well. Really interesting actually to see no one pick up the hard tyres on plan A. Looks like nailing on for 2-stop strategy, probably medium soft, or medium soft for most of the runners. VRX is in the lead of the race though, on the medium tyres, running out of fuel at this 1/3 distance. Probably the fuel isn't going to actually last 2/3 of the race, and that's why they are going to a second set of mediums. So you've got Mo in P2, some 5 seconds away from his teammate, and Nicci on the hard tyres. I think he may have turned the engine down slightly, because in the Ferrari 296 he hasn't used anywhere near the amount of fuel as the cars in front of him. Look at the comparison between the RCZ running the same number of laps from the start of the race to Nicci. So is he doing an interesting strategy here, Nicci, and turning the engine down for a 1-stopper? That is really odd to see that happening. So Nicci with a lot more fuel on board than his rivals. Arya still hasn't pitted, of course. He's managing the pace quite nicely as well, similar to Nicci out there. And Arya, of course, move forward, drop back, move forward again to P4. VRX and Mo in the pits as their RCZs at full chat, full richness of fuel mix, have taken them only this far, lap 15 of the 33. Yank shouting Nicci. I think he's happy with the strategy for Nicci now in the lead of the race, another leader of this race, although it's slightly bogus because they haven't pitted yet. Bijan in P3. Less fuel on board than Nicci, but certainly more than most other people around. As Stormborn says, does anyone have the race engineer link? Yeah, if you go to live races on the website, you can navigate that way. I usually drop it in, and I'm sorry I didn't today, Stormborn. But I was a quick turnaround for the races today. Very little prep time for me. I'd got everything up that I could get up ahead, but the Hector links don't get populated until the races are built. And still, the race titles for Hector were listed both as basically round 2 was all it said. And so I still had to do a 50-50 guess and see whose race was whose on the title. Rather than a divisional. Must have been a mistake from VRX for that gap. Here comes Wask versus Bijan to the inside. New tyres for Wask, of course. Bijan still protecting his strategy, and doesn't fight that one too hard at all. VRX says P7, there was a chat there that it was a mistake possibly. I don't think we're going to be in time to see said mistake for him. But yeah, he's absolutely dropped there, unfortunately. So yeah, he's dropped back to P7, and his teammate Mo is out in P10. So maybe it may even have been Mo there that made the mistake. And there's some close battling here. Remember, Nasty pitting very early after an incident into the bus stop for the first racing lap there, trying to go 3 wide. Tequila Monkey around the outside. No one intended to go 3 wide, and that is the difficulty at the apex of the final corner, which cuts across the racetrack, managing to get in there Nasty nicely, but Tequila Monkey in P7 and has managed to leapfrog VRX with the earlier pit stop. So committing very early to that switch over onto the medium of a new compound of medium tyres. Yeah, Yank, I don't see the link either, unfortunately. But yeah, go to the website, Stormborn, svr-racing.com, and you should be able to navigate your way there for the engineer link. It's, though, looking like a great battle between Mo and Tequila Monkey. Mo has the newer tyres. They're both on fairly new mediums. So this is definitely an interesting one. And tell you what, let's give you Mo's stream, shall we? Because you'll get a good sort of instant replay on that if he does make the pass, but he'll certainly be chasing him down hard. Oh, and he seems to have got an assist on the car there, and we don't like the assist being on the racetrack. So I think we saw that on VRX's stream last time out, and it's his first time with us. So I think we just corrected that one. Mo shouldn't be running these driving aids. So my apologies, Mo, you've been caught. So we're going to have to talk about that. It's not his first race, but first race I think I've been able to access his stream live on here. So he's got braking zones, he's got apex and exit markers there, those yellow dots. So yes, that's not allowed here at SVR, unfortunately. So caught red-handed, sorry to say, Mo. We'll have to get those turned off for the next round. Yeah, we race as realistic as possible here at SVR. So we do have ABS allowable, but everything else is turned off, including all traction control, which is unlike most GT3 racing sims, which usually allow traction control. We are pretty strict on that. So we shall see. Anyway. Yeah, Woody just saying that we need a bigger lead for the driver, Nicci, in case he gets another massive penalty. Here we go. Mo versus Tequila Monkey, and you can see Wask chasing down Arya. Very Canadian group here in the GT3s, G1 division. Arya, Wask, we've got Soulshock, Finn, all racing hard and trying to maximize this one. Looks like Tequila Monkey's got those tires bedded in now and is starting to gap the Peugeot RCZ driver. So we'll flick over to the battle that we're watching on picture-in-picture as well. Here comes Wask to the inside through the back of the knee. The next corner is another left-hander, and that's a great overtake from Wask there. Arya 2 wheels out on the grass and struggling, I think, to find his way safely through the next corner, but the gap was definitely open from Wask there. You can see the darker patch of tarmac where the racing line is, and Arya just a little bit hung out there onto the grass, but obviously did allow Wask to gain that run in towards our run. Sorry about this. I don't know why that repeated twice. We'll go press the key to get back onto trackside and see what's going on. It's Wask in P2, 4.4 seconds away from Nicci, who has not pitted yet. Nicci on the fuel here is into the second half of our race. This is a big deal for Nicci to be running a one-stopper potentially. We'll see, but I think that's the plan. Turning the engine down to mix 2 or even 3 possibly. What are his times like? Look at the consistency there from lap 12 onwards. Mid 1 minute 49s every single lap. That is one of the keys to success here. Delivering consistency over an endurance length race, usually around an hour or more. Behind this group, we've got Arya now being pursued by DurtbagLarry, and you can see Wask checking his mirrors down the long straightaway there, but DurtbagLarry is hot on the heels of Arya. Neither of our two drivers here on screen right now are streaming, so I can't give you their POVs. Oh, it's outside to inside. It was a dummy from Larry to the inside of Arya, who goes off into the blue wall here at the back of the knee in Watkins Glen. Check this one out from Larry's perspective. It's through the heel of the boot, gets a great drive off the corner. Arya struggling with the car at the moment comparatively, and what a great dummy that was. Outside, inside, claim the racing line, and just like the previous lap, Arya loses a position running through that corner. So that was huge for him and for Larry to get himself into P2 again, as it was before. Wask ahead of DurtbagLarry, now with Arya in P3. But much deeper on his hard tyre strategy. VRX in fourth. Nicci and Bijan from Morado have stopped on the same lap 19 here to try and make this one-stop strategy work. I'm guessing it must be if they switch on to the mediums, which I'm sure they will. We wouldn't want to use the hard tyres more than once in a race here. Nicci in P7. Remember that VRX was right up in the battle for the podium out there earlier on. Morado boys phase 2, says Yank. Mo TBG is in P6 here in the RCZ. It rhymes, so it must be good. Tequila Monkey in P5 with a better run at the moment on the medium tyres here than his teammate Arya's managed, I think, on those hards from the start of the race. I'm just going to confirm that. Yeah, Arya, the last one to pit, has definitely been struggling on the last couple laps, but he, like Nicci, appears to have turned the engine mix down. We'll see the 19th lap to a conclusion. If he's left enough fuel on the car to make these next couple corners, he might be relying on that little bit extra that's at the bottom of the tank there on the way through. Let's see if he makes it in towards pit road before the fuel runs out. I think that is calculated to perfection. I'll just check that out as he comes into the pit lane. Oh, he's gone over the line. I'm sure Arya has just crossed the line on the way into pit entry. I think it's worth checking in with him. 1 litre of fuel remains on the car, so not quite perfect. Room for improvement there, Arya. As VRX back into P3 then. I want to see if Arya picks up a penalty after making his run through there. Tequila Monkey goes by his teammate in the pit lane. 13 laps remain, plus the one that they are on now, as Mo passes by as well in P5. Tequila Monkey, the big mover, you have to say, through that run. But here comes Nicci Louder, be able to do more of the race. Look, he's put even less fuel in than most of the drivers who fully fueled the cars on for their second stint. Nicci hasn't had to do that because he's got less than half race distance left to go. If he has had the engine turned down, it's going to be a difficult one to calculate because it's based on his average lap time. Arya got away with that one, folks, crossing the yellow line on the pit lane entry. So we'll have to see how he managed to get away with that, because he's definitely dodged a bullet. As Nasty, a problematic start to the race, but now he's in P9 and could bring some pace forward. I know when I've raced socially with Nasty, he's very quick. Usually he's not very social at all on track. He's very sociable on voice chat, but unfortunately on track he just tends to disappear off into the distance when we're all supposed to be having fun. Bijan in 10th in the Morado Ferrari 296. Apex not found in 11th in the BMW. And Solshock and Phil, this track really not working for the Totoro Porsches. They haven't got these cars dialed in, which is very unlike Solshock. A team that features Solshock is usually very well set up for a race, but yeah, it doesn't seem like the Porsche is quite there. They have pitted again though, and I think the first of the two stoppers to pit for the last time here, those Porsches. They were also using a lot of fuel comparatively to the Ferrari 296 particularly. Here is Wask, lap 21 of the 33, leading the race by 2.7 seconds. DurtbagLarry is on the same strategy. I don't know if anyone has been tracking how deep into the race the drivers have been able to get. How long the pit stop has been taking our drivers. VRX has disconnected from Hector, I think, but he's still right here. So thankfully, that's okay. He's just managed to reconnect to Hector all of a sudden. So had a bit of a panic there for his sake, but thankfully he's okay. Bijan in the 296 for Team Murado is currently running just around 1 second away, as Oscar cheering on Team Azul in the live chat. I'd love to hear all of your team affiliation and support here in today's live chat, and let me know what you think. Will a non-Canadian win this season or not in G1? Will it all go the way of the poutine eating, maple syrup producing nation, I wonder? Here is Nicci skidding around. Stormborn cheering on Team Azul, naturally, of course. LIRT says, let's go PSV. Good to have. That's worked. Stormborn, I hope that you managed to sort out the poutine together today, because honestly, this could be explaining a drop in performance today from Arya. Is it a poutine-less morning out there? Says Grinch, saying, I'm too busy engineering, aiming for double podium here for Argento. Awesome. Go for it. As Arya and P8, I think by the lack of confirmation from Stormborn that it has not been a poutine morning, and I think this is the cause of Arya's drop in form today. It's got nothing to do with the racetrack or incidents on track. It's all about the diet today. We got Bijan in 10th, Apex not found in 11th, Soulshock and Phil still at the rear of the grid. Nasty makes his second and final pit stop, I do believe. This is now the 2/3 distance. It was not a poutine morning or breakfast. Did you at least have maple syrup for breakfast, Stormborn? Because if it's neither of those two things, you might as well not show up and race, I think, unfortunately. There goes Tequila Monkey, maximising those track limits on the outside. There on the front of the knee after the bus stop here at Watkins Glen. You've got. I actually thought for a minute that my desk or monitors were shaking because I was focused on the car and it looked like everything else was moving around me. It wasn't the case. It was the lag on the Tequila Monkey Azul racing car. Let's watch Mo's point of view here. Maybe we'll go from the bonnet or hood, as we call it. You can see the dark clouds overhead. Yeah, so Stormborn says, blame it on me if Arya doesn't finish. Oh, it's absolutely Arya's fault. Everything in SVR is Arya's fault. Haven't you read all the in-jokes here? Stormborn, yeah, give him a bottle of syrup now. Syrup stat for Arya in his water bottle. Elbows up. And make sure. There goes Tequila Monkey into the pit lane then for his second and final pit stop off the medium tyres. That will be a run at the end of the race here on a different compound of tyre. I wonder what's going on that Lamborghini. Won't be a great deal of fuel, but a fair amount still to put in. And Nicci Louder then trying to make the tortoise strategy work here. Turned down engine, different tyres. Longer first stint than anyone except Arya, and Nicci Louder taking this Ferrari 296 has opened out a really nice big gap there to the drivers who have now pitted for the final time. That does not include Finn, who still has a couple laps left to run, I think, on those mediums. VRX, what tyres is VRX on? Can you guys not see Hector? I think you can. I think that means he's on hards, isn't he? Let's have a look. No, medium tyres for him. So sometimes, essentially, sorry about that. No, Hector requires the drivers to tell him what tyres they are on. And, yeah, sometimes they forget. And then Hector just doesn't know. and then if other rivals ask what tyres they're on, Hector will just make up an answer. Which means that he'll be right 1/3 of the time on average. Anyway, Finn in 6th, Arya in 7th. Arya has made his pit stop. Bijan also pitted to the end. So is now Tequila Monkey. This is going to be really interesting. Hi to Sock as well. Sock, one of my channel members, by the way, who when he views on my channel, he gets a special icon next to his name. He's joined Team Webbo, which I'm very grateful for from Sock. Here comes Solshock in 11th, Nasty in 12th, Phil in 13th, having made his final pit stop now as well. Wask stretching this second stint as long as he dares to shorten what would I imagine be a soft tyre stint at the end. Now that's interesting, because it looks like Tequila Monkey has used 3 sets of mediums. Please confirm if you're an Azul team engineer or you've been following very closely, but I think Tequila Monkey is on his 3rd set of mediums, and you've got to change compound. So he may be running the final lap on a change of compound tyre, or I'm completely wrong. But Oscar saying, Arya and Tequila Monkey are flying. And Hector needs to back off, says Matav. Yeah, nice. Okay. We've got Tequila Monkey here, P9. But I'd love some confirmation of the tyre choices Tequila Monkey. Did he actually start on the hards and I'm just making things up? I've got a half memory that the Azul cars both started on hards. That's probably more likely now that I'm saying it out loud, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I can't track everybody's tyre use throughout the race, sadly. Would that I could, but I cannot memorize 13 drivers' 2 or 3 tyre compound orders. Pat Finn in P6. I probably could if I wasn't having to talk all the way through the race. Finn in 6th now, and 37.8 seconds away from Wask's lead. Them both on the same strategy, I believe. Wask out there, yeah, very similar condition on his car, but that's mostly explained by problems at the start of the race, at least 2 for Pat. Then we've got DurtbagLarry in P2, 3.1 seconds away from Wask. Can DurtbagLarry mount a challenge here? Certainly had pace at the start of the race. It has abandoned him slightly, but let's see what happens when they get the soft tyres on, which have got to be very soon for Larry because of the state of that front left tyre wear. It is probably the worst of the medium runners at the moment. He's trying to steal more of the right-handers through the bus stop to minimize how much right-hand turning he's got to do here through this front of the knee section of the racetrack here at the south side of the Watkins Glen circuit. So good to be able to enjoy today's race with you. And thankfully, I've actually got some voice left after 2 previous back-to-back streams. So don't know how I've managed to cope like this. I don't want to run triple comms days anymore, but it was 2 season finales I did before this one, so I made an exception. It's Pat Finn in P6. Nicci's still in that 5th place. His gap to Pat Finn at the moment, 6.8 seconds. I've cursed myself now, my voice croaking. But Nicci, remember, only not having to pit again, and it looks like everybody in front of him does have to pit again. His gap to the leader, 31.0 seconds, and falling as his tyres are in a good shape. Wask and Larry's not so much. So this is a crucial point in the race for Larry. Can he keep those laps running? DurtbagLarry braving it out for another lap. It looks like they want to use the soft tyres at the front of the race here. But they are really risking it on that front left. You can almost see there DurtbagLarry just the front wheel just slightly refusing to grip in through turn 1, the front left, and him having to take two bites of the cherry as he goes into turn 1 and the midpoint of turn 1. The VRX is about, I would say, about 2/3 worn through his front left, so there's plenty of life on that one at the moment, but you want to get on those soft tyres as early as you dare. It's perfectly allowed to go off the asphalt through turn 1, by the way, on the exit there. You've just got to keep 2 wheels on the red slope section, red and yellow slope section of the curb there. If you go over that, then you're going to be pinged for track limits, and it's quite harsh, but beautiful up close view of the Team Morado colour scheme there. It looks like you've got Brum's Welsh flag on the side there. All 4 drivers' names on the cars, which is awesome to see. Pat Finn in P6. He is running low on fuel, lowish on tyres, and he's got Arya, compatriot but Azul Racing driver and championship leader, in P7. in a similar position, although I think Arya will be getting to a finish of this race. Arya ahead of Bijan in 8th, Tequila Monkey in 9th. We've got Apex in 10th, Soul Shock 11th, and Nasty in 12th. Phil at the moment bringing up the rear of our 13 car field. And I will try and find you a different driver to watch POV, as Wask is in the pit lane, and we will see his stop time. So is DurtbagLarry. I love this pit lane view here we've got for the pit stop times. It's fabulous design from he who should not be named, Beragos, our Hector designer. Stop time 11.3. Compare that to DurtbagLarry's 13.7. That is fuel management and fuel economy on the cars, which is different. Despite the balance of performance, the fuel economy between the GT3 cars, there is a clear and definite difference. VRX leads the race, and he's down there on the bottom right of your screen as Wask emerges from the pit lane directly next to Mo. Mo is on the old medium tyres. Wask has put on new softs, and he could have really done without this complication. Nicci in P4 in the provisional podium positions at this stage, with VRX and Mo, the Argento silver cars, ahead of this group, but they have not made their second and final pit stops. They've been able to take the Peugeot RCZ further into the race stints, thanks to fuel economy, but they will then need to, of course, make those pit stops and lose track position. Wask, the later they stop, the less stationary time, the shorter their pit stop will be, and the less track position they will potentially lose, or less race time they will lose anyway. Around the outside holds firm, and this is important. Mo has every right to fight on here. Wask will be frustrated, but this is doing a good job for his team, because potentially VRX could be battling Wask at the end of the race. Look at this, expertly holding firm on the inside line through the corners. Surely those soft tyres will eventually become superior on the grip. Wask refusing to stay on the outside into the penultimate corner, almost leaning on each other there through the turn. I don't know if that scared Mo off the racetrack, or they hit a bit of netcode between the cars. Let's have a second look at this as Wask dips down around the outside, goes for the later apex here on the car, and then let's see if they actually make contact into the penultimate corner. It's impossible to tell with netcode. The Argento car behaving as if it did suffer contact, but I can't be absolutely certain. So the gap between Wask and race leader VRX, 14.2 seconds. That is going to drop very quickly, but quickly Mo will be on the radio and saying, you've got to pit right now because I can't hold him up any further. He's got by. Here comes Nicci Louder and DurtbagLarry to take the bus stop side by side, and Nicci sweeping across the nose of the new tyre shod BMW, presumably on the soft tyres. Yes, he is. And Nicci fighting on old medium tyres. But this is essentially for a seat on the podium here for Nicci, for Team Murado, with the Tortoise strategy. And now he has to hold up Larry for as long as possible and get those soft tyres to wear out. Larry round the outside, tries to cut back, can't make it happen. Larry looking desperate here to get by the much slower performing 296 right now. What a fabulous run so far for Nicci. Holds on to the inside lane, but it looks like he's going to go all the way around the outside. Amazing overtake from DurtbagLarry in the 77 Obsidian car. Absolutely love to see the guys fighting this hard, this clean as well. Here we go. You'll see the BMW on the outside as they come round, and there goes Larry. He braves it out on the marbles. He's got those soft tyres, steals a bit of the exit of the corner, but he takes that one fabulously around the outside. Absolutely brilliant again from him. So he goes off and will try and pursue Wask again, but he's lost 5.4 seconds through the course of the pit stop and outlap and traffic portion of this race. Lap 29 of 33. Wask leads DurtbagLarry by 5.2 seconds, and they are walking or I would say probably trotting away from Nicci Louder at this stage. Arya in fourth, and here is VRX on brand new soft tyres. Surely Arya is sitting duck here with the tyre differential between the Peugeot and the Lamborghini on old medium tyres. It's going to be a very similar situation to what we just saw with Nicci and DurtbagLarry. But you'll see it just as I see it here on VRX, who, let's be clear, unfortunately has not turned off his on-track assists for the second race. And I know he was spoken to. So there may be a punishment coming for VRX's car for using those assists, I'm afraid. He is allowed his ABS on light or partial, but he's not allowed to use those track markers. They really helped in Interlagos because we were racing in the pitch black, and drivers were complaining they couldn't see the corners before. But there may be something in the penalties coming for VRX. We will see. You can check it out on the website, of course, for the race results, and then you'll see each race's penalty decisions and how that affects the overall standings. Arya is desperately holding on here against VRX, despite the shaking around of the Canadian's car with the lag. It could just be the fact that I'm connecting to Arya essentially transatlantically, whereas I'm not for VRX. Puts himself on the outside through turn one. He really needs to follow through turn one so that he can use the slipstream all the way to the bus stop, in my very amateur opinion. But I'm sure that it's only a matter of time before he manages to get by here. It's lap 30 of the 33, so time is running out, and the advantage on those soft tyres also running out. Putting himself on the inside line here, but he's got the nose ahead. Oh, he's absolutely risked it all there on the nasty, I'm going to call it the nasty wall on the inside. I think I'm going to have to now name that piece of Armco the nasty wall that the drivers are running through right now. Let's see, Pat Finn, what I'm talking about is that bit right there across the entry curb to the bus stop. It's a very nasty wall. Here is nasty. He's in P11 on his medium tyres. Solshock has worked his way through to the top 10. And Finn has made his pit stop a little bit earlier, I think, than possibly Wask, based on the tyre wear. Well, it's about the same. It looks like very much plan A for the drivers here. Medium, soft for their strategy. DurtbagLarry, the same situation. But Nicci and Arya have gone for the engine turned down, one stop, hard to medium strat, and it seems to be working out for them right now. Arya P5. It helped that Arya gained so many places at the start of the race. Look at the drift, possibly coming from Arya. It could be lag again. I can't necessarily give style points, unfortunately, for that, because it could just be the lag showing up. Bishan in 6th, Tequila Monkey in that 7th place. Tequila also a driver with slightly problematic connection to the server today. Could be the issue with just whoever is host. I think it's Dummy is host in the US, so maybe there's some lag for some of the cars there. I don't know if Kim can comment on the quality of the internet. Is it problematic where you're racing from today? I wonder. But yes, it's Wask, Larry, Nicci Louder, your provisional podium at the moment, and it's yes, okay, I can see why you're asking. Larry has disconnected from Hector, it seems. I think Larry doing everything to protect his internet connection today. So no stream, no Hector, unfortunately. But yeah, Mo in P8. Unfortunately, I can't watch Hector all the time because it doesn't help me maneuver around the race order very easily. So yeah, Mo in 8th, Finn in 9th place. Solshock and Nasty. Can we avoid that nasty barrier on the inside? Solshock knows exactly where that is and holds on. Porsche versus Porsche. Two different generations of GT3 car though. As Solshock is trying to hold on. Nasty on very slightly younger medium tyres. Maybe only a lap of this difference in it. but looks like he might have the pace. And there goes Solshock, and he loses out there. And that's a big one for Solshock and Nasty. And Apex Not Found comes through. And I'm glad we were watching them, but I'm not glad, of course, that they had the issue. Let's watch this from Nasty's point of view. I think it looked like Solshock lost it. He did. He's already skidding out there. Tries to rejoin. You know, Nasty could have left a little bit more room, knowing that the car in front was having his problems, but he didn't have to, I suppose. But yeah, Apex gets through, and he can't quite overcome Nasty at this stage. Soft tyres for the BMW driving Apex Not Found, and a top 10 in the offering here. Solshock down to 12th with his teammate behind him in 13th. Wask's lead is 2.6 seconds on the penultimate lap of our race. I don't think DurtbagLarry is going to catch him here in normal racing. Nicci Louder's pace at the moment appears to be good enough. 48.0, 47.9 his last three laps, as VRX chasing him down on a 45.2. Well, it could well be that he is able to reel him in. Nicci could hang on for a podium here with the Tortoise strategy. Who knows if he'll be able to do this. Giles Chris saying he wasn't completely off track by the looks of it. Who are you talking about there, Chris? Was it... yeah, I wasn't necessarily saying he was rejoining the track, sorry. Got tumbling over my words a little bit. He was rejoining the racing line and was sideways. But I do feel like Nasty could have given a bit more room, as he could have perhaps earlier with the barrier. But that is just my first view of it. So stewards, if they're called, will decide, of course, as I will perhaps give you... Well, I'm already giving you VRX's point of view here. And Nicci has a virtually impossible job here. He's got to hold off a driver on soft tyres behind him. Low fuel running at the end of this race. Can VRX get himself on the podium, even if he's about to take a penalty for using driving assists this second round of the championship? Could have just forgotten to turn them off, I would imagine. But I do know he was spoken to about it last round. Nicci holds firm on the inside line. Oh, that's beautiful from Nicci, and he's done enough. He's done enough because VRX spins on this final lap of the race. Nicci will, I think, almost certainly get himself a podium. We've got time just for this one last replay here. I'm not quite sure what happened to VRX, but he went for the inside line, did he? He was on the outside. I think he got caught on the marbles. There wasn't any contact there. Oh, I just asked too much of those old soft tyres now, and it's almost coming to a conclusion here. That was crazy stuff as DurtbagLarry is struggling to stay on the racetrack as well. Wask is down to his final couple litres of fuel here as he comes towards the penultimate corner of the racetrack. It's Canada again, but this time it's going to be Wask who takes the win here at Watkins Glen. It's Zelen Motorsports, Wask who wins in Watkins Glen. That's a perfect triple W there. And it's called by Weber as well. DurtbagLarry crosses the line. Doesn't thank the team, interestingly enough, from Larry. And Nicci Louder, with a fabulous strategy, trusting the process all the way through, comes home to take home P3 for Team Murado. What a finish. That was Arya. Dramatic run. First in race 1, fourth in race 2. And it will be VRX who crosses the line, slightly red-faced in 5th. Tequila Monkey for Azul. So Azul win the Azul Argento battle against Mo in P7. It is a drag race to the finish for Bijan and Finn. Bijan finishes 4 hundredths of a second only ahead of Pat Finn, who is going to be spitting feathers after that race. Not a single thing went Pat Finn's way, I think, at the end of this one. Sock calling Nicci the driver of the race award. I'll leave that as you guys go ahead and put your votes in for that one. Nicci, that was a very, very strong race from him. Here comes Nasty to cross the line, pick up P10. Apex Not Found will come home in 11th. I think he ran out of fuel and had to turn the engine down at the end there. He was 10th earlier on. Solshock 12th and Phil 13th. That is a tough race day for the Tortoro Porsche team. Phil puts it into a nice drift to finish the race, knowing I'm probably watching him. Congratulations, though, to Wask, to DurtbagLarry, and to Nicci Louder for the finish of that race. Fantastic run from them. Wask, great win. I don't give driver of the day to the winner on principle, but a great win nonetheless. Here's your provisional result, and I say there may be an asterisk next to a couple drivers' names out there. I think, though, Wask, Larry, and Nicci will hold on to their top three, probably Arya as well. VRX is in fifth, Tequila Monkey sixth, Mo in seventh, and Bijan home in eighth place. Just the tiniest distance away from Pat Finn, who's got all of his bad luck out of the way in the first two rounds of the season, I think. Nasty in 10th, Apex not found in 11th, and Soulshock and Phil bringing up the rear for the Tortoro PSV sponsored Oro team. So that was your race. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have enjoyed enjoying the race with you today. I'm shattered. I'm going to need to stop talking for a couple of days now, I think, after that. But hopefully you all have enjoyed it. Do hit a subscribe on SVR's channel and on my channel if you haven't already, Webbo Red 5, and check out our website for links to merch stores and ways to support what we do here, because we do still need your support, and we're happy to discuss business sponsorship for title sponsorship for the teams for the remainder 10 races of the season out there. Look out for the G2 race in the midweek. But from us here at SVR Racing, from me, Webbo, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We will catch you on the next race day.